One of the most interesting teams of all time is Perish Trap. Perish Trap is a really interesting technique that involves using Perish Song to make all Pokemon faint in a few turns, and then using a trapper like Gothitelle or Mega Gengar. Historically speaking, this team has been very solid as well, as it actually got second place in 2018 of Worlds, piloted by Emilio Forbes, using the Politoed and Mega Gengar. And currently, it is doing very well in VGC 2023 Series 1. We're going to be looking at these 4 teams that have been recently used a lot in the format, and we're going to look at the pastes and show you guys some resources of exploring it more into it, because the team is very intricate and very interesting, and I would definitely recommend playing it and playing against it because you're going to run into it. First off, let's shout out VGC PokePaste Series 1 here on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and link their page in the description down below and this post so that you can see all of these PokePaste yourself. But today, really what we're going to be doing is looking at all of these PokePaste from these 4 teams that have done well recently and seeing how you can use the Perish Trap strategy currently in VGC 2023. The core is basically Gothitelle and Azumarill. And this core is very, very strong. It's very defensive, and it uses Perish Song and then Protect and then Fake Out very, very effectively. A lot of the setups is going to be Azumarill and Gothitelle on lead. You're going to go ahead and fake out something and use Perish Song, and then you're going to double protect, and you're halfway through the damage that you have to do. Gothitelle is built very, very defensively, and Azumarill is typically built very bulky instead of the huge power belly drum version you see a lot of the time. We actually even see Sap Sipper on Azumarill nowadays a lot of the time, and like defensive Taro on Gothitelle. So Perish Trap has actually gotten some new tools as well, being defensive Terra. Now, you don't always have to lead this strategy, because if you lead this strategy every time, it's very two-dimensional, and your opponent can call that out and then play well, you know, according to what they lead. So you can have it in the back as well. So you can do a lot of damage or play very defensively at first, just picking off a couple knockouts, and then once your opponent only has 2 Pokemon, Perish Trapping doesn't even have to Perish Trap. You can just Perish Song and then live a few turns and then win the game through that. Let's look at some of these builds. So we have Gothitelle here using a Pinch Berry and Shadow Tag. We also see a very, very defensive build with 252 HP, 196 defense, and 60 special defense. This has been something consistent, not this exact spread, but going all into defense. Sorry, my voice is kind of gone. We also see the Azumarill built very, very bulky as well, with actually 0 investment into physical attack, which is very, very typical for Azumarill. We also see Hypnosis on Gothitelle and Sing on a lot of these Azumarill, because those just help things go swimmingly for a Perish Trap team. If you don't have to worry about damage, well, that's pretty good. But you don't want to always rely on that, because the accuracy for those moves is just abysmal. But here's the question probably burning in your mind. What about the other 2 Pokemon? You got a free knockout on 2 Pokemon, or you kept your Perish Song in the back and then knocked out the last 2 Pokemon at the end. Well, how do you take the knockouts on the other 2 Pokemon? Well, you have to play very offensive, very, very strong Pokemon as well. Things like Meowscarada, Goldengo, you have King Gambit, you have Gyarados, we're seeing Annihilate. A lot of very, very offensive Pokemon on these teams as well that just take big knockouts. These teams recently have been very, very successful. I'm talking very good, because they've been doing actual results at actual tournaments. We have here, going from left to right, we have Yurishachi VGC taking 11th place on the Battle Stadium ladder, which is pretty good, peaked at 11th place. Then we have Ishiro as runner-up in a big tournament, well, not really that big, 72 players, but still, it's, you know, there. And then we also have a runner-up in a 283 player tournament from Snow. 283 is pretty good, so getting 2nd place in that definitely shows that the team is really solid. Then over there in the last one, we have a top 8 from an X9 pop-up tour that was 208 players. So as you can see, these 2 on the farthest right have been playing really well in tournaments, being able to really show off that the team is good. And you definitely need a good pilot for Perish Trap teams to be very good. I think you definitely want to prepare for this team. If you don't know what you're doing into these teams, you're definitely gonna lose. I mean, blatantly putting it, you're going to lose. They are really hard to play against. Having these Pokemon in the front or having them in the back can a lot of the time take 2 free knockouts. So as long as your other Pokemon are able to take some knockouts along the way, you can mate your opponent and just win. Check out the Cybertron VGC. He goes very in depth. It's a 45-minute video, and it's definitely something I would recommend. He talks about the weaknesses for the team as well, which is really good. So if you're looking to play that, definitely check out that video. This was meant to really just be a short video to shine light on Perish Trap, because Perish Trap is really solid in this meta currently, and it's been very good historically. So it's definitely something that you want to prepare for. That's really it for the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. All these links are going to be in the description down below. So if you want these pastes or rental codes or watch that video, check them out. Goodbye.